the variation of solubility of some iron solids with the temperature. Now this is useful for the crystallization of any salt in the from the mixture. This is the application of this method, and this crystallization can be done with the help of the method, what we can say, the crystallization of ionic salts. And some basic concepts are related with this chapter are nothing but these are the different terms which I have shown here. The first basic term that now we are going to see is nothing but the concentration. Now we will these all the terms which are very useful in this chapter. So before going in detail of this chapter, you should know these all basic things. Now in that we will see one by one. The first thing is that the concentration. Concentration means generally how we can define number of moles of any chemical substance. In this language we can say solute in a particular amount of solvent is called concentration of that solution. Okay, that concentration we can determine by these terms. In that the first term is that the percentage by mass. Percentage by mass is useful for the determination of how many percentage by mass of solute is present in a particular solvent. So this is the formula by which we can determine the percentage by mass of any solute. Here for that purpose what we want, the first thing is that mass of solute you should be known. Then mass of solution. By using this, by taking the ratio of these two terms, you will get what you can say the percentage by mass. And whenever you want to determine in percentage, you just go on multiplying that term by 100. So this is the method by which you can determine, means how much percentage of that solute is present in a particular solvent. So this is the first definition or first term of concentration by which we can express how much solute particles are present in a given particular solvent. Okay, then if the solute is liquid and solvent, it may be it already is what we can say in liquid state. So for that purpose, this percentage by mass we can use for this combination solid plus liquid. That is, this is solute and this one is solvent. You already know. For that combination, if we are using this term percentage by mass, then at that time mass of solution is nothing but what? Mass of solute plus mass of solvent. Like that also you can take instead of mass of solution. But the thing is that for this combination we are using percentage by mass. But for this combination, liquid plus liquid means solute is liquid and solvent is also liquid. For that combination we are using this term percentage by volume, means the mixture of ethanol plus water if it is present, or if we did like that combination ethanol plus water, in that case how much percentage of ethanol is present in a solution, that we can determine with the help of this formula, that is percentage by volume. Now how this formula gives us an important information, like you just look at here, volume of solute you have to know, and volume of solution you can get just by adding volume of what we can say solute plus that is solvent. But here the thing is that like that here we cannot do. Why? Because this is a temperature dependent factor. You should take into account this is a what we can say temperature dependent factor, because volume of solution can be varied with the temperature. This factor is this factor, that is percentage by mass, is a additive factor, but this percentage by volume, in that case volume of solution is a not additive factor. You just keep in mind, this is a very important thing. This can be changed with the means volume of solution can be changed in percentage by volume with the variation of temperature. So this is a very important factor. So for that purpose you cannot do like this, volume of solute plus volume of solvent, you cannot do here, because this one is the temperature dependent factor. And here in problem also you have provided with this value. Volume of solution is given in each and every problem whenever you want to calculate the percentage by volume. So you just put that given value directly here, that is at volume of solution. Then you already provided with this value, volume of what I can say solute. Then by putting both the values and take their ratio, go on multiplying with 100, then you will get the percentage by volume. So this is the important thing that you have to keep in mind. And in case of liquid and liquid combinations, this formula we are going to be used. Okay. So these are the two important points we are already cleared. Now we will move to the next point, that is number of moles. This is a very important point. Okay. In this chemistry, number of moles. This is a simple definition. Number of moles are nothing but the number of particles of that chemical substance. Okay. How we can determine here with the taking the ratio of these two factors, that is mass of substance divided by its molar mass, or we can say also weight, given weight divided by its molar weight. By taking these two ratios, simplest ratios, you can find out the number of moles of any substance. With the help of this number of moles, we are moving to the next point, that is mole fraction. Mole fraction is denoted by the capital letter X. Now mole fraction, what it tells us? Mole fraction is nothing but the number of moles of any component divided by the total number of moles which are present in the solution, is nothing but the mole fraction. Now that mole fraction for any binary solution, its addition always becomes 1, that I already shown here. Okay, x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. Now to avoid the confusion in problems while solving the problems, to avoid this confusion, you just make your mind either x1 as a solvent or x2 as a solute. So before going to solve any problem or in this chapter in detail, you just decide whether you are calling x1 as a mole fraction of solute or x2 as a mole fraction of solute. You just clear this point first. Now according to my point of view, I am going to be considering x1 as a mole fraction of solvent. Now look at here, all these terms are very important. I have considered x1 as a mole fraction of solvent, and what x2 becomes? X2 becomes mole fraction of solute. According to this point, you just go forward, that is N1, you just go on assuming number of moles of solvent and N2 as a number of moles of solute. Okay, so like that these formulas I will explain. What you have assumed, N1 as a number of moles of solvent. So for component 1, I have assumed it as a number of moles of solvent, and for N2 what it becomes? Number of moles of solute it becomes. So just consider one component and the another component, you will get an idea, means what you should be called for that the second component. Okay, so these are the important things you should keep in mind once, then you will not be able to forget these two components. Okay, so what I did, x1 and x2 and n1 and n2, these 2 points I have cleared. Now we will you just come across these two formulas. As I have explained, x1 is nothing but what, number of mole fraction of solvent is nothing but the total number of moles of solvent divided by total number of moles of solvent and solute, their addition. This is nothing but what we can say, mole fraction of solvent, that is x1 part. And for x2 you can also make its definition. x2, that is mole fraction of solute, is nothing but the total number of moles of solute divided by the total number of moles of solvent plus solute. Then by taking its ratio, you will get mole fraction of solute. For your information, I have already written here what the n1 and n2 these terms indicates. I have already written here. So this is about what we can say, the mole fraction of any component in a solution. We will move to the next point, that is molarity, that is capital M. Capital M is its notation, means this factor also comes under the category of concentration. Now these are the common terms. This is the common term capital M, molarity, which we are going to be used for the calculation of concentration of any solution. Now how its definition will be constructed, we are going to see. So just take the number of moles of ratio of number of moles of solute divided by the volume of solution in DMQ. Means a particular amount, or we can say the particular number of moles of solute particles whenever we are going to be dissolved in a perfect 1 liter solvent. Look at here, volume of solution in DMQ we have taken, then that solution becomes its corresponding molar solution. Okay, so here the denominator term volume of solution in DMQ, it is always constant, it will be 1 liter. Okay, and whenever you are going to take this value in CGS units, at that time you just go on multiplying 1000 to that ratio, then this factor, that is molarity, will becomes a correct factor. Here what we did, this formula I have written with the help of terms, that is n is nothing but what, number of moles of solute divided by the volume of solution in DMQ, that is liter. There its units becomes mole per DMQ. Now this mole per DMQ, instead of mole per DMQ, you can also use mole per liter. Okay, so this is the important thing. What about we can say molarity, that is concentration of any solution we are measuring with the help of this term, that is capital M. Now moving to the next point, that is molarity. What is meant by molarity? Only the changes is that in molarity, instead of volume of solution, here we are taking mass of solvent in kg. This is the important difference between what we can say molarity and molarity. Now look at here, the numerator term, that is number of moles of solute, will be same for these two definitions. So how we can define this molarity? It is nothing but the number of moles of solute, which is present in a mass of solvent in kg or 1 kg of solvent is nothing but what we can say molarity. Here also, if you use the CGS terms, then you just go on multiplying with 1000, then you will get the correct formula of this. But if you are taking all these terms in MKS unit, that is, instead of what you can say the mass of solvent in gram, if you are going to take in kg, you just there is no need to multiply the term for that formula with the 1000. You just skip that part. But here we have taken mass of solvent in kg, so for that purpose we have not multiplied this formula with the 1000. So this is the difference between what I can say molarity and molality. Again here one thing is that this molarity is a temperature dependent factor, but molality is not a temperature dependent factor. Why? I already explained in detail there, because here at the denominator term the volume of solution we are taking in liter, and here in kg. Volume is not a what you can say additive property, but mass is a additive property. So this is the important thing or basic different terms which now we are going to be used in this chapter. So before going to main points, you just know about the these basic terms that we already studied in detail. For your better preparation, you just go on repeating these terms, then you will get an idea. So this is about what we can say in our video, in our today's lecture. Thank you very much.